The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content, secret contests, and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
Oh, and hey, we're back on another Sunday evening to talk about The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, and another title that I cannot pronounce. I'm Justin. He's Seth to my, I guess that would be your left. I don't know if it inverts it, but the guy beside me is Seth. The guy below us is Matty. Let's see, what is he tonight? Matthias.
Same as last go round. Mathieu W en français.
Okay. Sounds fancy.
La Dame de Fer.
So we podcast and we talk about The Walking Dead. So this was episode 4, right? Only 2 more left.
So they say.
The show's been getting pretty good hype, so I think it's pretty safe to assume there's definitely going to be a season 2.
La Dame de Fer.
Now, what do you know what the translation of that is? Do you know what that means?
No, I'm just
probably
guessing.
Probably the
probably not the right
something.
pronunciation.
Maybe they're like anti-animal cruelty people.
The Iron Lady.
Dame de Fer.
So it means the Lady of Iron or the Iron Lady.
Oh, the Iron Lady.
Fer for Ferris for Iron.
Sounds like an 80s. It sounds like an 80s metal band. The Iron Lady. But Seth, let's start with you. What did you think of the episode?
I thought it was cool. I mean, I don't know. I kind of got lost a few times, but then again, I was running back and forth between kids and stuff, so it was kind of hard. I really want to watch this again, but you know, I liked what I saw. I'm glad that dude man got punched on the catwalk. I'm glad that the other dude got stabbed a whole bunch of times and led around.
I always love a good torture scene.
Until it was squeal.
yeah. That reminded me a lot of the game part of The Last of Us, where he stabbed that dude and was trying to get him to tell him where Ellie was.
Yeah,
a lot of parallels.
I thought the same thing. It reminded me of the torture scene with Joel and yeah, absolutely. Matt, now the spotlight's on you. What did you think?
It was good.
I'm gonna need more than that, Matt.
I think one of my favorite scenes from this is when Daryl was escaping that one dude and all them zombies eating him, and he's like, "Bone appetit."
Bone apple teeth.
Oh gosh.
Oh, Daryl, you rascal.
Now I'm sad. I thought it was a good episode. It's been a good show so far. It is interesting because a lot of folks I've talked to, a mutual friend of Matt and I, told us today while we were watching football that he liked this better than the Negan Maggie spinoff. You did. I've said that. Matt, what were your wife? Matt's wife
preferred. Yeah, she's the one that liked the Dead City.
Now, which side of the fence are you on, Matt? Do you like?
They're both good in their own ways.
No. Enough with your diplomatic stuff. Which one's the best? You always do this. Stop trying to be diplomatic and pick a favorite.
I will always be on the fence. If I had to pick, oh man, I would probably go with Daryl Dixon. It's more interesting. There's so much more to it. The Croat was a very underwhelming villain.
Well, and and I also think that it's a different setting. I mean, it's just, it's good. I find it interesting. I'm not gonna say it's not Norman Reedus' fault, but I had said forever I didn't think Daryl carried episodes very well. Like, I like the character a lot, but I just always felt like Daryl-centric episodes on The Walking Dead always ended up being like some of my least favorites. But in his own show, I think he leads it pretty well. Do you think him and the French lady are gonna?
Oh, heck yes!
Wreck some vowels. Lose some vowels while he's wrecking them bowels.
Ooh,
Lord.
I heard this is where the menage a trois was started.
I'm glad they didn't do the cliche thing though, where I guess the guy's the girl's name is Emil. I don't know, the girl that kissed the dude, and then they go off to fight, and like the whole time I was thinking, typical Walking Dead. He gonna die. He just got a first kiss from that girl, but then he just got shot in the leg. So they're doing different stuff.
I guess that's what's nice too. It's different.
It is different. It's different than what you're normally used to. So, Seth, give me some highlights and some negatives on this episode.
Too much French and so many subtitles, and it just that'll be some negative right there. Okay, sorry, negative. Too much French, too much subtitles, too much reading, too much opportunity for me to pick my phone up.
Hard to stay engaged.
It's very aggravating to stay engaged and watch a show when you're constantly having to.
But man, if you don't, you miss out on some important
details. I'm sure I did, and that's why I want to go back and rewatch it. But it was kind of
What's this La Dame Fer?
Oh, and also Google Translate that to not the Iron Lady. It's the Lady to Do.
Whoa, the Lady to Do?
Yeah.
It's the Lady to Do.
Wow.
Well, I wonder what the hell that means then. Like, I don't know why I thought for some reason when Matt said the Iron Lady, I was like, okay, well,
fair, short for fair.
Oh wait, hang on. Let me double check that in French.
The Lady of Iron.
Apparently that came up automatically in
La Dame, the Lady
that came
de
up in
Fer.
Iron. Okay. Iron Woman.
The Lady of Iron or the Woman of Iron?
Iron. It's just what it came up in Google. Apparently it was set to something else. Catalan, the Lady to Do. So the setting was
4 languages in school, Seth?
No, I didn't. I mean, I did one, but I failed. So here, let me just show you.
Me llamo Seth.
Right quick. That's what when I first put that in, that's what came up. I didn't realize I had to go back in and change. So yeah.
Can we get a French person to confirm this?
Are there any listeners out there that speak a français? I don't think that's how you'd say it, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know.
Parlez-vous?
French. I speak English.
I speak America.
I speak God's language.
Yeah.
Jesus was the greatest American I ever knew.
Dang all right.
He wrote the Bible.
Tell us about that, Matt.
That's all I know. And by golly, I believe it.
Just going to leave it on Matt solo for the rest of the podcast just to watch him feel awkward.
Yay. Dang, is everyone in bed tonight?
You think that Matt's you think that those are toy hands, but those
they're
are
not. These are not.
Those are Matt's normal tiny hands.
So, all right. Here's how we're gonna do how to speak French.
Comment parler français?
Okay.
Parler français.
Yes. So if anybody can do that there, that'd be great.
Yep. Which if they don't speak English enough to know what I was asking, I don't know why they're listening to this podcast.
Well, maybe they just like to hear English people talk.
It is a beautiful language.
Well, I mean, it's only Justin's voice is the one anybody wants to hear.
No, I mean it's true, but no.
Oh,
yeah, I'm sick. So, my voice is extra sultry
and off
froggy, like the frog-legged French. So like you're halfway there.
Well, and before we went live, we were talking. I was doing a sound check just to make sure my mic sound all right. And Seth and Matt understood each other, I guess, in a non-sound
In a
technician
layman's
way.
term.
Seth, what you were hearing was it was a little too compressed.
Okay.
It was
I've
it had a little too much compression on it. So what I can do, look,
wow.
I can back the compression way on down, and then it takes a lot of the bass and the compression out. Or
less compression, more depression.
Or
I need that. I need that visual of like the reading rainbow, where it's like the more
the more you know.
Basically, if it sounds real radio-ish and punchy, it's usually more compressed than you like, which sounds good when I do radio, but maybe not as good on a podcast. Hopefully, it sounds halfway decent now. But yeah, I've been trying to tweak it. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's a good episode. I kind of wonder where it's going. I mean, so he's got the kid back. What do you think? What is she going back to that dude for? I mean, like, what is she hoping to accomplish?
I wasn't quite sure of that.
Like, are they in on something together? Is she going to end up being a bad guy? That'd be a great plot twist.
Ooh, I would not see that coming.
Like, maybe this is the plan the whole time. I don't know.
Like, what if their paths cross like universes and like they come across Joel and Ellie?
That would be interesting. Like, man, your zombies are a whole lot freakier than ours. You can stab ours in the head with blunt sticks.
What's that? The bad gal's name? The one that was looking for Daryl.
I don't know, but I thought she was going to kill that baby
or something.
I don't know. I thought she was going to kill the baby though. It's like,
what is Jenny?
Jenny
in français.
Jenny en français. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It is Jenny.
Like, is it actually
spelled Janet?
Like, is it spelled like Jenny?
No, it's spelled Genet. But since it's in français, it's Jenny or Jeanne.
Jeanne.
Yanni.
Is it Laurel or is it Yanni?
A little rough there.
Laurel or Yanni.
Are you hearing that distortion, Matt?
I hear something wonky.
Seth, when you talk, it's real distorted.
That's because I'm trying to edit the video.
That's just his normal voice.
There's a lot of load on
that's computer. Too much compression.
Now, yeah, there's.
Like we're in the same room.
It sounds like you're talking to me through time and space.
Well, I mean, I guess I am. It is the internet, and I don't know how that works.
Jesus, that sounds rough. What the hell are you doing?
I'm editing a video.
Well, apparently it is bogging your computer down big time because your sound signal is like...
Do that a little harder.
Like right there, I couldn't even hear hardly what you said.
Matt heard it.
No, I think Matt.
I speak robo-ese.
No, Matt just reacts to facial expressions. Matt
hey, sometimes you just need
sly and said, "Oh."
He was making an innuendo when you were doing this chopping motion, like you were.
I heard him say "do it harder" or something, but
it
was like "do it harder." No, I like the show, but I do feel like something big is going to happen.
I think they're keeping Laurent alive.
That
why aren't the baddies wanting to kill him?
Laurent. You said why they're keeping keeping him alive?
Like, do you think they buy the bullshit that like he's the savior?
I don't know, man, because they just seem more like they just are more interested in Daryl than they are the kid.
Yeah.
I just want to know what Daryl did to these people to make them like, so big on killing him.
I would like to know too. It's always just that thing. You're wondering how I got here.
He stunk up our boat. I'm Daryl. You might be asking yourself, how did I get myself in this situation? Well, it all started with a girl. Then it rewinds and it's him and Carol. I wonder, like, is anybody in the Walking Dead world like seriously concerned that they have not seen Daryl in a hot minute? Because I imagine it takes a while to float to France, and he's been there a little while.
Everyone's on their summer vacations.
Mine are typically just.
That was me.
Oh
God, you scared me. I was like, what in tarnation?
What in the Sam hell? But yeah, I don't know. I don't really have as much to say about it tonight, and there aren't any people commenting, so I feel like this is dead.
Walking Dead.
Well, I mean, are people watching it? Do we have people? I mean, I haven't seen it really trend on Twitter. I haven't seen it. It's not.
Hey,
it's not. I don't think it's being well received.
Everything I've read, like I know it's which I mean I know you'll roll your eyes at it, but it's like certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, and I mean everything. All the few things I have read about it have been mostly positive, and a lot of the people I've talked to have been very positive.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert.
Well,
I still don't know that Robert exists. How do I know Matt just doesn't move extremely fast when they're in the room together?
I do.
I think you got to take Rotten Tomatoes with a grain of salt.
I know. That's why I said I know you'll roll your eyes. I'm just giving examples of
Mr.
Right.
Tomatoes raised me.
Whereas I didn't see nothing like that for the Maggie show. I mean, maybe it was, but I didn't see it advertised on television like that. Let's see. What did you think about the dream in the beginning? It kind of confused me.
I can't get to you, Laurent.
Wait, that was a dream?
Yeah, it was a dream sequence.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I guess I didn't realize it was a dream sequence, and I was wondering like what happened. Like he's reaching through the gate and all of a sudden did they drop the bottom out on him or something, or did it flood? I was very confused. So okay, it was a dream. Also, that old man, like, and maybe I misinterpreted the scene because my daughter was down here while that was going on, but like, Daryl's basically like, I don't know if they speak the same language, but it's like, hey, stop, these people are evil. And he just like runs out and gets himself shot. And it's like, do you ever wonder like how people like that made it this far into the apocalypse?
Just a series of just a whole lot of luck.
Like when they find these stupid characters that so easily get themselves killed, it's like, hadn't it been like 12 years or something since the apocalypse started? And I mean, like, how has this guy survived this long? Robert says, we want a continental podcast. Thanks for weeks.
Jeez. I still need to watch that. I haven't watched it. My wife tried. She didn't really care for it.
What was it?
The Continental. John Wick.
Oh, the new John Wick movie?
No, it's a show. I think it's on Peacock, and it's a TV show centered around the Continental.
Kind of a spinoff of John Wick.
Yeah.
Huh. Other than this TV show, man, I hadn't watched much of any television.
Me either.
Did WGA finally end their strike?
Yeah.
Damn. It was so nice getting a break from TV for a minute.
Right? Well, that's not the actors. That's just writers.
Yeah.
SAG's still out.
So. Let's see. Just curious if you and Jesse are continuing the retro reviews.
Yeah, what is Jesse doing these days? I haven't heard much from her.
I missed the retro reviews, by the way.
She just living life. I mean, yeah, I think she would. I mean, if there was enough people that wanted it, I think she would. Just, I guess, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was. I don't know.
There was so many times where, like, I wish that we could have seen her review, her, like.
Saw her face when she watched it.
Reactions.
Oh, yeah.
It's like there's some brilliant scenes in The
Does
Walking
Daryl
Dead.
fit in with this culture? Does
Hell
it feel
no.
forced? No, but that's the beautiful thing, is, and I don't think it feels forced as far as the differences. I mean, I think if you took any Southern redneck and dropped them in France,
Be
that's
a little awkward.
it's gonna be very odd. So no, I don't think Daryl fits in, but I think that's a good that's a good aspect of the show that he doesn't fit in.
So I really liked when that dude got dog puppered in the zombies. He's like, bon appetit.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, my dog's barking at something.
Getting it. Tear it up. Hi, Rumble, by the way. I see the 3 people watching.
Hey, Rumble.
Comment. Hit that follow button. If you're not following us on Rumble, if you click this link, it'll take you to Rumble and all the other places you'd like to check out.
It'll take you to Rumble, it'll take you to Patreon, where you can listen to Matt and JP talk about booty holes.
Oof,
I still need to watch that, to listen to that.
The booty hole man. Let's see here. What did you think about the episode, or what did you like about it? It might sound weird. I like the filters they're shooting this, or that they're putting on these. It gives it like a really nice gritty. Each episode's got this real grim, gritty look. I don't know. I really like that. I don't know. I know that's a very minuscule thing, but I do really like that. I like seeing Daryl try to fit in a new world that's not just some regurgitated same old, thing. So I mean, in the episode itself, I don't know, like, what did I like in particular about this episode? I like the Molotov cocktails. They were pretty rad.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, I don't know. It's not, I don't feel like there was anything in this episode that really stood out to me. I mean, I'm glad he got the kid back. I'm curious as to what's going to become of this lady. If she's going to, I'm also curious how he's going to get back home. I don't know. I don't really. Excuse me. Well, I can't say I liked the episode. I did, but I can't say in particular what I liked about it. Seth, you got anything?
The aesthetic is very pleasing. The CG definitely you can tell they have a budget, which is nice. I hate watching a show and in the background looks so fake and so cheesy that it just pulls you right out.
Oh yeah.
I'm a sound guy, not a sound like as in Justin's sound where he's.
I was gonna say because we got schooled earlier.
Well, hang on, yeah. But I'm more of a guy, like I can pick out like motorcycle sounds, car sounds, trucks, the way they sound, and if they're off, it pulls me out.
Like Daryl's dirt bike in season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Yes, or in season 6 when he was riding a inline 4 and it sounded like a Harley. That really drove me nuts.
Well, they would have like dirt bike sounds.
Yeah,
for his his motorcycle.
That was a Triumph. It was a 2-cylinder Triumph, and it should have had a different sound, but no, it sounded just like a dirt bike.
I'll tell you something funny. If you ever have time, go back and watch season 2. I think it's episode 1. No, is it episode? It's either episode 1 or it's either the first or the last episode. But it's like they're at the line of cars, so it's either when they first get there or when they meet back up after Herschel's farm. I really think it's in the beginning, though. I really think it's like episode 1. If you pay attention, you'll see Daryl is like. I'll go check it out or something. And then you hear the motorcycles like, burn, 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 but then you can see him just rolling like this.
Yeah.
And then it pans over to him real quick and he's just like coasting.
Well,
the effect did not line up at all.
Do you remember in Fear the Walking Dead when Morgan was talking with that chick that was like the nuclear reactor specialist or something?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That maroon Chevrolet dually that they had. They had that thing sounding like an IDI diesel when in all actuality it should have been a Duramax. And then like the sound was just like a pulpwood truck that you'd find back in like the 60s. Yeah, dude, it was so like the wrong sound. And I'm like, does anybody ever like research what things should sound like?
No, I think with stuff like that, they're like, give us a manly truck sound. We want this to sound like a working man's truck. So they're like,
yeah, it sounded awful.
Just like Daryl's dirt bike. I mean, well, actually, it was a motorcycle, but I swear sometimes they would screw up and just drop like a damn Honda CR sound effect and be like, dan, 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 dan.
Yes.
Oh, but it's fun to pick out the little stuff. Let's see. Balili says the interrogation scene seemed out of character. I don't think so, mainly because we've seen Daryl torture before when he tortured Randall in the barn. Maybe not quite so vicious, but also you got to think about how many kids Daryl has lost. And so now finding a kid probably is something that he will get very dark for. I mean, Sophia, he's had a lot, especially too, is lost as many people as Daryl has lost. I'm sure whenever he's at the prospect of losing someone else, he probably can get pretty dark pretty quick. I think it's more unrealistic that they can have like normal conversations because my God, the PTSD these people would live with. Like, I know, like, they'll show them like living in a community without any incident and they're all perfectly fine. And it's just like they're living normal lives. And it's like, dude, the amount of PTSD these people would have, even in a gated, walled up community, I don't think they would ever be comfortable. I mean, like somebody yawns and you're slashing their throat because you're like,
no. Oh, God.
Your wife leans back and is like,
take your spear and right between the eyeballs. Whoo, that was close.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree with you there, but Lily, the story he told definitely sounded like a Negan deal. But I like when she asked, was that a true story? And he was like, no. Also, something about being in France says, the old saying, excuse my French, when people curse. And it's like they're in France. And Daryl sure does love that F word now that, now that whatever reason they can throw it in that they didn't before. Daryl sure is just dropping F-bombs left and right. He's going to get back and Rick's going to be like, Daryl, I heard you were saying, because, he said the F word like one time in front of Rick when they were in that pit. And, right before basically when Maggie was going to kill Negan and Daryl was just, I hated that whole setup.
You know how I feel about swears, Daryl.
I was going to say, but maybe he didn't cuss in front of Rick because Rick wouldn't let him. So when he finally finds him, like, Dare Bear. Word on the street of France is you were saying naughty words once I left. No, Rick.
It won't like that. And I heard that someone gave you a bath.
I actually do like more F-bombs, though, because I'm sorry, you're not going to be surviving in a zombie apocalypse and not drop the F word every other freaking word you say. So the fact that it took, 9 seasons before we actually finally heard the F word, because I think season 9 was the first time someone said the F word in the show, and it was Daryl. Yeah. That's more, that is harder to believe than people actually surviving the apocalypse, that they would do it without the F word.
We may be a collapse society, but we are still civil.
I mean, the F word gets me through a lot of different challenges in life.
All right, you ready to hear this?
All right.
This is one thing that drove me nuts. Did you hear that?
The motorcycle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not what it sounds like.
No, it sounds more like a big, like Harley, one of the big Harleys.
And according to Google, it was a CB750.
Really,
huh?
Sounded really, not like saying it matched up with the motorcycle, but I'm saying like that exhaust sounds really nice.
That bike, of course, each bike would have sounded great, but they used the wrong sound for the wrong bike.
I mean, It still
Yeah.
cracked me up though when you talking about the truck because I never thought about that, but it damn sure did sound like an old farm truck.
Yes. And it was like an 07 or something dually.
And see, I love yeah. No, I think with the Foley artists they get, they're just like, give us a badass motorcycle sound.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, cool. And they probably just go to like the nearest parking lot and like, hey, can we record you taking off?
Now they finally got it right because this is what it's supposed to sound like.
Yeah. Very different than that last sound.
Yeah.
See if you can't, don't worry. But see if you can find, I'm sure someone else had to have noticed it. Me and my buddy Cameron noticed it back when he was watching the show. God, this was a long time ago. But see if you can find the season 2, episode 1 Daryl bike mess up.
All right.
Because I mean, like he's just like when he goes to take off, I mean, it sounds like he just punched that bad boy, but he's just like but it's like
well,
coasting at like
where-
30 miles an hour.
where was it? Was it season 2 that was on the farm, right?
yes, but this was when season 2, episode 1, when they were on the street. Remember when they first pull up, and that's where Sophia gets separated.
Yeah.
Fine.
I'll see what
Yeah,
I can
well-
do, but yeah, that's just. Hey, Chandler Riggs is going to be at Comic-Con. You guys should come up for that.
I'd like to meet Chandler Riggs.
Yeah, it's February 10th and 11th.
What would you call that? Where it's like not a blooper.
Gag reel?
No. Daryl motorcycle. It's gotta. I'm just gonna have to basically go record it on the show, and then yeah, because I can't find it either. The Walking Dead season 2 motorcycle mistake. Daryl's motorcycle.
Well, fellers, I need to sign off tonight. I got a full day ahead of me.
And so does everyone
So do
else.
we all.
I got
No shit.
2 full days ahead of me, and all on the same day.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap it up, which we were getting ready to, Matt. If you could have just held your horses for like
Horses
minute.
cannot be held.
He doesn't like to hold his horses.
My horses
Anyway.
are wild.
That's going to wrap it up. So thanks for hanging out. We'll see you, I guess, 2 more Sundays before we take a little break. So whenever the Brick and Michonne show comes on, man, they better be getting their snit right with that show. Like that show better be some straight fire. We haven't seen Rick Grimes on. Well, we saw him at the last episode briefly, but we haven't like gotten Walking Dead time with Rick Grimes since what was that 2017, somewhere 2017, 2018, somewhere in that range. So they need to like. It better be good. But we'll be back next week. Make sure to check us out on Patreon for the Podcasting Dad. I'm Justin,
I'm Seth.
Metadubs.
and we'll see you soon.